Mr. Terupt, November, Chapter Anna. I was pretty scared when Mr. Terupt first told us about going to the collaborative classroom. I don't know those kids, only that they were gross and messy, but I did not complain. I was happy when I found out that Jessica was in my group. She and I have been eating lunch together. She's always reading and she's smart, and she doesn't act like a know it all. She tells me about her book if I ask without giving away too much of the story. I wasn't expecting or looking for a special friend, but Jessica showed up this year, all the way from California, and I like her a lot. I'd like to ask her over to my house, but no one has ever come over before. I'm not sure what Mom would think. I'll have to think about that some more. Jeffrey was in our group too. All I know about him is that he always seems mad at everyone. That wasn't how it turned out, though. Jeffrey was nice with kids, really nice, and I didn't feel scared because Miss Kelsey and Jessica were with me. Miss Kelsey knew I was nervous and she helped me get used to everything a little at a time. I noticed she didn't wear a wedding ring. Mr. Terupt sure had a lot of options. Little Emily was so cute. I didn't want to touch her hands because she always had them in her mouth and was slobbery and had spit all over 'em. But Miss Kelsey gave her a handkerchief to with wipe her up every once in a while, and then it was okay to touch her. I held her hand on the way to do jobs on the way back. She smiled at me, and then I felt like I was going to cry. I hadn't expected that. One day, after everybody had been visiting the collaborative classroom, Mr. Terupt decided we needed to discuss our group experiences. Mr. Terupt, I said, before we get into a serious discussion, did you know that Miss Kelsey doesn't wear a wedding ring? Is that so? He said. Yes, and neither does Mrs. Newberry across from the hall. I did know that, but thanks for the observations, Anna. Then Peter started in. Ooh, Terupt and Newberry sitting in a tree. Kissing. Okay, Peter. Ha ha ha. Mr. Terupt held up his hand. Enough of the matchmaking, though I appreciate you looking out for me, Anna. Now, how about sharing your experience? I wanted to tell Mr. Terupt that my mom didn't have a wedding ring either, but he moved on. Jessica was the first one to speak up. Mr. Terupt, why is James in that room? He seems really smart. Yeah, Peter said. He knew how many forks and stuff were on the table before even counting them. You should do some math with him, Luke. Not exactly a retard then, huh, Peter? Mr. Terupt said. No. Peter's voice lowered, and so did his head. He's autistic, Jeffrey said. No one said anything, probably because we were so shocked that Jeffrey had spoken first, and because we didn't know what that meant. James has some things that he's really into, and he knows everything about them, Jeffrey went on. A lot of autistic people have a special talent. James is great with numbers, but he has problems too. Hey, we should have had him tell us about how many blades of grass were in the soccer field, Peter said. Yeah, and then I would have never been hit on the tushy, Lexi told him. Peter grinned. That was the best part, though. All right, you two, that's enough, Mr. Terupt said. How do you know all that stuff, Jeffrey? I said, even before I knew I was asking the question. I felt instantly bad. Jeffrey was not looking for attention. Jeffrey did not answer. He was quiet again. Chapter Danielle. Lexi was in my group going to the collaborative kids. Part of me was happy about that, but part of me wasn't. Things were a little confusing. Every time we went to the collaborative classroom and every time we came back, Lexi would talk bad about Jessica, even Anna. Don't you think Anna belongs in this room? She's so stupid, Lexi said one day. Even if I wasn't supposed to be friends with Anna, I knew she wasn't stupid. I knew because she was my plant partner, and she helped me a lot during that unit. Plus, Anna was the only girl not involved in Lexi's schemes, which made her brave, too. Jessica should stay down there. She doesn't have any normal friends, Lexi said. The weirdest thing of all was that Lexi was really nice to the boys and the girls in the collaborative classroom. Joey loved her. Okay, Joey loved everybody, but he always smiled and hugged Lexi. She was really patient with Emily, too. Seeing Lexi like that helped me feel more comfortable with the kids in the room, and I had a good time with the kids, especially James. Jeffrey told us that James had certain things he was really into, and one of them was farms. His brain was crammed with information about tractors and machines and cows and milking, so I brought in a bunch of pictures from home, and James went nuts. He spouted off facts nonstop as he looked up at the pictures. Udders. Those are the cow's udders. Clean her off and dip it in. Next picture. Hay. Find it in bales or rolls. It's hard to work hay. Throw the bale off the wagon and put it in the elevator. Stack the bales in the hayloft. Next picture. John Deere tractor. Classic green and yellow. Lots of horsepower. James talked more to himself than anyone else, but that was okay. His mind was racing. When our time was up, I tried to take the pictures, and he started to scream. Really scream. Not words, just noise. Really loud noises. It really scared me. I let go of the pictures, and Mrs. Warner came right over. I got out of the way. "You can keep them," I said. "That's very nice of you, sweetie," Mrs. Warner said. "Hey, James, can you say thank you to your new friend?" "Ah!" James yelled and struggled to free his body from Miss Warner. "James has a hard time knowing when time is up and switching to another activity," she said. I kind of felt bad for James watching him have his meltdown. "It's okay," I said. "You can keep the pictures, James. Bye." More yelling and screaming and crying. I hoped he would calm down too, but I had to leave and I needed to go and I wanted to go. I didn't like to see that. The whole situation upset me, and I think that was what gave me the courage to say something. We had just gone in the hallway when Lexi started in. "Like, what a weirdo. We better fix him up with Jessica. She's the weirdest in our class." "Just stop it," I exploded. "Why do you always have to be so mean? You're nice with them in that room. Why do you have to be so mean now?" Fighting back tears, I turned and ran down the hall. "He likes cows," Lexi yelled after me. "Maybe he should date a cow like you then." Hot tears streamed down my cheeks. I ran upstairs into our bathroom. Jessica was there. "Are you okay?" she asked as I came to the door crying. Here was my true friend. I knew it now. "I'm sorry I've been so mean to you, Jessica. I won't do it again." She walked over and hugged me, and I felt better. Dear God, it's Danielle. I know how now that Jessica is my real friend, and I pray that you can help Alexia not be such a mean person. And I pray for James. He was awfully upset today. Please help him feel better and learn to handle when time is up. Thank you. Amen. Danielle. Chapter Alexia. Like Peter knew what he was doing out there on that soccer field, hitting me with that frisbee. So I was constantly reminding him that he killed our plant. "I told you so," I kept telling him. Yesterday he told me to stop annoying him. Peter's always picking on me. I bet it's because he likes me. Like, all the boys think I'm pretty. They like my fancy clothes and my sparkly lip gloss. They sure don't look at Danielle. She's got so upset with me. She's never yelled at me before. Maybe she's getting braver as she gets fatter. I'll have to try to fix things with her again soon. I like to go to the collaborative classroom. I don't have to worry about things down there. The kids in the room love you no matter what, and it's really nice. Teach had a good idea with that one. Joey likes my feather boas. I always wear them to his class so that he can see them. I think I'm going to ask if I can put some lip gloss on Emily. I think maybe she'll like it. Every girl should have some lip gloss.